A brake cover is designed to shed water off of the brake to keep it from getting wet. If the brake gets soaking wet and dries under tension, it can get stuck. If your dolly didn't come with a brake cover, it won't have the bolt holes for it, but we can send you one with double stick foam tape. This will not only mount the brake cover, but will also serve as a seal to keep water out. This slot here is for the brake release lever to go into. So you're going to install it like this. Before you peel the backing and stick the brake cover in place, you want to do a test fit to familiarize yourself with how it goes on and where it's going to line up. This edge here should line up perfectly with the edge of the cabinet. You may actually be able to get a thumbnail between here, but it's important that it be straight. Up here, you want this to also line up as much as possible. If you have wires coming out the bottom of your motor, it may create a gap here. You can close this gap by pushing on it. The bottom part of the brake cover is going to press up against this axle support here, and it should be resting on this surface here. Make sure your brake release lever is in the up position when you're installing this. Now, once you've seen where the tape is going to make contact, you need to thoroughly clean those areas. You can use an all-purpose cleaner. If the dolly's got a lot of dirt on it, you might want to use something a little stronger like lacquer thinner. So once you have your surfaces cleaned up and you're sure of how it fits into place, you can go ahead and peel the backing off of your double sticky tape. Once your backing is peeled off, you need to be very careful as you're lowering this in place not to accidentally make contact with the cabinet. So you want to keep a gap here and here and put this into place. Make sure of your positioning. Take your time to make sure everything's lined up, and when you're ready, just push it up to contact the cabinet and then press firmly in place. Make sure you press this lip to make sure it's fully seated. You want to make sure this is fully seated and that the tape is sealed. So you could take something like a wrench and come between the brake cover and the motor and just gently pry on this a little bit to put pressure right here and push it up against the cabinet and make sure your tape is locked into place. Also make sure you press the bottom of the cover firmly into place against the axle support. The tape not only keeps this mounted to the cabinet, it also creates a weatherproof seal. But if you ever have to remove this to either replace the motor or the brake or to unstick the brake if it were to get stuck, the only way to do it is to pry it off with a screwdriver. This tape does not like to come off.